not to discard it. I think we should be moving forward with it, but on a separate track that is different from the other two statement of interest. It's very unique.
The problem is that they may not allow it.
Well, they may not.
They may not allow it.
And I think
So we have to make a choice. I mean, that's what they're trying to do is, and again, as you said, they're overwhelmed, you know, sure, they're overwhelmed with the number of projects that are going to propose. So what they're saying, they go back to the community and say, all right, you guys decide which one's number one, and we'll take a look at your number ones first.
See, I think they're looking at,
Even if it's a teleconference.
I think they're looking for, you know, $2 million projects they can spread out, absolutely, no question. I mean, you know, who's got a crystal ball? But it seems to me that I think what they're looking to do is to do septic systems. They're looking to do the shorter dollars. So to go in and ask to try to get $30 million, I don't even question. The only hesitation I had on the batch is that you're asking for 16 million, which might not fit with your plans. But then to say, no, let's not do that, let's ask for 30, okay? And then we're gonna ask the community for 60. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening anytime soon. I don't see them giving us 30, and I don't see us asking the people for 60 anytime real soon. Now, I'm not saying the project, don't hear me as saying anything other than the fact of the practicalities. Certainly not saying that our schools, 4 kids went to the high school, I know what that high school is. 4 kids went to that middle school, I know what that middle school is. But, you know, we gotta look at this as saying, you know, what's practical, what will work, and what's best in the community. I think that, you know, I think they're looking for $2 million projects. That's what I think, and I think that's what you said.
Just a clarification, is it your understanding that this new bureau, MSBA, is looking to give communities an indication as to what's approvable for a dollar level, so that when you go to the voters, you know what you're looking for?
If a community is accepted for the year one, that acceptance, that the very first thing that will happen if you're accepted, included in that year one, is that MSBA and their team of architects and engineers will then sit down with you, the community, your building committee, and begin to walk through that process. They'll ask for a feasibility study. They'll look at different possible solutions, and then through negotiations, how long that's going to take, it will be an interesting question. If the selection approval comes in December and I don't even see that as a green light, I see it as a yellow light to proceed. And then it's going to take a period of time to determine what it is that should be done. And then there has to be an agreement reached. And only at that time, timeline, I'm suggesting that's going to take well over a year. Now, yes, I would agree, Mr. Gardino, that it will be very easy to take a project such as a roof or a boiler project, certify it, approve it, say that it costs $500,000 and write the check for it. But there will be many school districts looking for major kinds of projects. Those would be far more difficult and require intensive work, both by the community and MSBA, to even arrive at a solution. And then once the solution is achieved and agreed upon, and MSBA approves it, then the community has 1 year to go back and sell it for funding. But you sell it based on the fact that you're going to get X dollars in reimbursement.
Right, that's what I was asking. So yeah, we're gonna have
You'll
a much better idea than in the past,
Right.
as to what our level of reimbursement is going to be.
You'll know.
And we're also going to have an approved project with their collaboration as to what's approved.
Right.
So to me, that's an easier sell for a community where we say, okay, we know part of the process from the beginning, and we know what level of reimbursement we're going to get, and you know what you're back in your bucket. So,
Mel has had his hand.
Just wanted to follow along with what Mr. O'Leary and Mr. Mosseri were talking about. We submitted the batch statement of interest to cover ourselves in hopes we could get some funding. However, if I was sitting on the MSBA side, the batch project doesn't even qualify. projects that were supposed to be, it doesn't qualify under this process. Projects submitted under this process, as Dr. Trojan said, there are supposed to be no plans done, no, no schematics, nothing. Just a statement of interest that we need to do work at this school or that school. Well, we're submitting for the batch, we're submitting a completed project, and I agree with Mr. Mosseri and Mr. O'Leary, and I spoke to Dr. Trojan about this today. I'd like to get some clarification. I feel that it should be pursued at a different level, because it doesn't meet the qualifications under the current statement of interest. The project's done, and there are probably, as Mr. O'Leary and Dr. Trojan said, there are probably 4 or 5, maybe 10 of those. I doubt 10. And I believe that that's where we can get the help of Representative Jones in pursuing another avenue, and that we should get some clarification, if we can, from MSBA, because the project does not, the batch project does not meet the guidelines that we were submitting these statements of interest under. But we wanted to submit it to make sure we covered ourselves in case we couldn't get funding. And that was before they said we had to have any prioritization. They didn't, this is a new thing, they just from us.
So
So
do you get the feeling that the rules are kind
the
of?
rules have been squishy all along.
They were just
But,
in flux.
but that's what I would like to do, is pursue, if we could, if it made sense, and if there's a potential, pursue some funding for the batch at another level, or, down another avenue.
Mr. Vino and then Mr.
Thank you. Well, I have to be honest, I came in here with the thought of pursuing the batch, as I believe Mr. Messeri and Mr. Dadino did. But I guess what I'm hearing now is we cannot pursue the batch, am I correct? Well, I mean, if we have a guideline and it doesn't fit in it,
We don't know.
okay, well, then we can't decide on
Right,
that.
we can't- exactly.
I can't decide on that then if I
Right.
don't know.
We've also been encouraged
And so
Right.
the
to
only,
pursue it, so.
yeah, well, but under what guideline, I understand what you're
From a
saying.
state rep,
Yeah.
for one.
So so the only thing I can see, because we have to do something by August 15th.
Right.
And if they're telling us, if it's not in the guidelines, I would prefer to go for the batch. But if it's not in the guidelines, I don't see how we can. So I would think that we can only go for the secondary school project,
Mr.
whichever one it may be. But again, okay, go ahead, Chuck. I'll
It's
save
confusing.
that.
It's
Yeah.
confusing. We started the secondary school building committee in 1999. We went forward with a renovation in 2004, which got voted down, which ran about $30 million at that time for the renovation. If you were using that number today, you're probably around $50 million if we were trying to do the renovation here that we presented at that time. So we went forward and tried to bring the project in, taking care of some schools at one time. It's a unique project. And the state, to me, would look upon that as a unique project, doing what we're trying to do. Was possible that we may be running for that. We're not gonna know until we apply for it. The thing being is, in 2006, the statement of interest was supposed to be done in July of 2006. Here we are in 2007, and they still haven't done it. They only had 86 schools in May of 2006, so they extended it out another year to 2007. Naturally, we're going to get more schools involved in that process. We had a pretty good chance if they had gone forward in 2006. And the last thing I will tell you is, if anybody that was in breakfast, Mr. Cahill last year, the superintendent was there, his treasurer of the state. There's one thing we asked him, he was talking about school reimbursement. He said, you better get some politicians to handle it. And that's coming from the man who controls Catholic K. Great.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Jones.
Steve, anyone else in the back here? I think we're supposed to have a Steve.
In the last analysis, the MSBA is an educational entity. They've asked us for our priorities, and I think we jeopardize our credibility completely if the priority we submit has nothing to do with improving education in the town. The our first priority, we would be saying that education is not our first priority, and we would be jeopardizing everything. The secondary projects are, I think, right, given the work we've done, I would say the high school, actually, but it's hard to say that. If we put either of the secondary projects on the table for the MSBA, they can come back and say to us that the right solution is the kind of combined program that we were looking at, so that they can get to it either way. If that's the way it ends up, the high school actually benefits both secondary levels the way we designed, so that would certainly be my first priority from an educational point of view. I really would be reluctant to tell them anything that suggested that education was not our priority.
Maureen?
They've asked us to put these projects in a priority order without giving us any guidelines or definition of what they're looking for. And along the lines of what Steve is saying, these are school buildings. So if you jot down, I've got 4 priorities for moving forward with the community school buildings. One would be a safe environment. And we can attest to the fact that we've got air quality and mold issues that are poor. Another would be adequate classrooms, both in size and in numbers. And at the middle and high school, we don't need that. Another would be to meet today's program needs, to equip our kids for the future. In their education, we depend on technology and labs. And then our secondary lab, we don't need those priorities. And another one, of course, would be cost effective, so that the taxpayers would invest in a program, and the investment has to show a return. If we use those priority guidelines, and we put the batch of the project on the table, and not every priority one is gonna be funded, my guess is they're gonna take that right off the table, because there are communities dying for money to meet these guidelines. But if we put our middle school and high school on the table, we're gonna meet every single one of those guidelines. So I think it's very easy to look for the politically correct option of lowering today's tax rate because we've got operational needs. And it's very easy to move towards the practical solution of this one's already got a nod, let's move in that direction. But if we go in a priority for school buildings based on safety, adequacy, programs, and cost effectiveness, I think that the secondary schools has to be the one to submit. And it's not the most easy one to sell to the community, but in meeting the guidelines of school buildings, it's the one we need next.
Abby?
I wonder which of the projects will be selected if the batch has not been completed. In other words, before the batch was redone, how did it shape up next to these other schools? I think it's impossible not to look at that scenario, and one would hope, given the documentation that the state has received, that they will also take that into consideration.
Well, as a matter of fact, it was rated as a 4, it is a matter of record. And in fact, it was a need. We just managed to fulfill the need out of our own pockets. What about let's say you got state approval for a high school project. How far away are we from getting that project approved by the community? Just getting the state to approve a program and then going through and working with them to determine what part of that program we're going to accept and approve. And then we still have to go out to the community to get approval to spend the balance of the money to build such a
So
facility.
you have a year to do it, 3 years.
Right.
But before you can start to sell it, you have to have something approved by SBA. And we're looking